Good morning and welcome in everyone. Before we get into this morning's update, let's go over a quick rundown of what is transpiring so far in the crypto market this morning. Overnight, as typically seen, crypto did have a little bit of an upward volatility, but by the time we woke up here in America, it had already started pulling back down. So what I'm speaking of is overnight, if we go into like the 2 hour time frame, we were able to get up to $1.84. When most of us went to bed in the USA, we were on $1.72, $1.73, bounced up to $1.84. But now in this 2 hour candle, we went from $1.84 in the last hour and 55 minutes to $1.77. So in the last roughly 2 hours, we've had about a 3.8 to 4% reversal. Bitcoin's at 76,000 right now. Overnight, it came up just a little bit higher to 77,800 range, almost 77,900. And now in the last, almost 2 hours, it's come down by about $1,500. So just in time for the USA to wake up. We have a very nice upward volatility in gold, is up $78 an ounce today, or 2.6%, which means mining stocks should recover some of these losses, but we'll see how the day transpires. We've been up and down, left and right in commodities and mining stocks, so we'll pay attention to that as the day goes on. But our main focus right now is crypto, as Bitcoin's, reversed about $1,500 overnight. XRP's reversed about 4% overnight from that $1.84 level when it had a bit of a volatile push up, but it just couldn't hold any momentum as of right now. USA is going to wake up at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Pacific Standard Time is going to, on the West Coast, is going to wake up, 6:37 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So just about an hour and a half. So we should see some kind of weird volatility as usual in the morning. And then, even though crypto looks super, super bearish, I still want everybody to remember the whole reason for what they're doing with tariffs and the whole reason they're doing what they're doing with the stock market, crypto, mining stocks, risk asset, all of it, is because they want to lower rates. And I believe they're trying to get 4 to 5 rate cuts this year. And they want to switch from quantitative tightening to quantitative easing. And the only way to do that is to collapse the market, and then you get your way in a sense with that. So I believe that's probably what's happening, which means right now, yes, we might have short-term pain as we've talked about, which we've been going through. But long-term, this is going to benefit crypto because it's a risk asset. And when you go into quantitative easing and you cut rates, that's a perfect recipe for a major move in risk assets. So now is the opportunity to watch when it drops, like with Bitcoin. If it goes to 64K, it goes to 64K. And XRP, that $1.50 mark, is the 61.8 retracement, the Fibonacci retracement level. And as somebody pointed out yesterday, back in 2017 and 2021, we pulled back to the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement level before a massive breakout that ended up leading to the rest of the bull run. So can that happen for a third time? History doesn't often repeat itself, but it does rhyme. So it's not that it exactly repeats itself, but it does rhyme. So we'll see what that means. Good morning. 7:57 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Wednesday, April 9th, 2025. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So XRP at $1.78, below critical support. And this is what could lead to a volatile swing to the downside. We have that underneath pivot point, which we held yesterday, but it's at $1.70. Below that, we've got $1.65 approximately. In real time, it's about 160. Here, let's clone this so that I can put another, if it works. But let's put another piece of the puzzle here. So if it gets rejected, you're looking underneath. That's that pivot point, but you're looking underneath here at about $1.64. If that were to break, then we could start pushing that $1.50 area, which is that pivot or the fair value gap. But also, you could go all the way down to $1.38 as that pattern set up. I always look for the nearest support in the area. So that FVG is at $1.50. My most volatile and the most likely spot that could hold a volatile swing down would be that $1.38 mark. So that's what I'm looking at. That's the area that I could see an overextended drop, somewhere around 138, 139. So that's where we could get that volatility. Well, right now it's not looking great. We need a real spike here, and it's Wednesday now. We know for the last 16 consecutive weekends we've dumped in crypto at some point, and it started off much more red by the end. One time it looked like we were going to pump her up like 20% on Sunday. By the candle close at 8 p.m. on Monday morning, or Monday night, which was still the candle from Sunday, that candle went from a 20% rise to like a 12% loss. So there was like a 30% reversal during the day on Monday. So, this has been 16 weeks in a row where there's been no relief from this pain. Now, assuming we continue to fall, that $1.50 level, it seems to be taking this route perfectly. And if it takes this route, it's the more painful route. But it needs to be done. So if we could do something like this would be your most bullish scenario. So we've already come down once. Now we need to swing around and create a big W. So if it can swing around, bounce down, and then kind of trail along and then rise out, that would be our best case scenario. We'd fill the gaps, and then we could get volatile and hot, and then we could start running out the rest of this pattern, assuming there is a wave 5. Wave 4 is not, the wave 5 push is not invalidated on XRP yet. But right now with altcoins, we need to start looking at it from the standpoint of, yes, Ethereum usually leads us into alt season, but what if Ethereum was signaling us that we're going into a bear market, an extended one, which we're in right now? Like, I'm making no bones about it. We are in a bear market. I've been speaking of it for, about a month now, but everything is in bear market. We're not in a bull market anymore. Most people think we're in a bull market, and they just can't understand why the ebb and flows keep pushing down, even when we have good rises up, why it returns down farther. That's typical of a bear market. It doesn't mean you're in a full-blown bear market, but at least from the top of this bull run, you're now in a mini bear market at worst. At best. I think we're in a bear market until otherwise notated. That's why I feel like in most investments, no matter what you're buying, you're just giving it back to the house because it comes down lower. We're in a stair-stepper motion. And these are very dangerous, especially for newer traders, for ones who are coming into a market because they see a lot of expectations and they are like, holy crap, I have the fear of missing out. Very dangerous market for them. Once Ethereum broke that rising wedge, and we were right on top of that, we had a technical target down to $496. We had a pivot point at $1,850 that could possibly hold us, fell right through it. And now we're paying the consequences, because if this plays out properly, you could come sub 1,000, and then if this does properly, you're going to come sub 500, and then there's gaps on Ethereum under $100. So we'll see how far they really want to push this market. I'm not giving up on this market because I know when they go to quantitative easing and they cut rates, it's going to be volatile to the upside. But getting there is the question. So I'm staying pat. I've kept my firepower to the side. I have what I have, and I'm very comfortable with what I have. And if it drops out another layer or two, well, then I might use some of that dry powder. But, we're just going to have to watch the market for the volatility as it is. I need to release this video in the next couple minutes because my son needs to get to school at 8:25, which means we have to leave here at 8:15, 8:20. And then today, we'll do a short. We'll do our live tonight. Just got a lot of stuff to do in the house. I have, just putting it back together, and then still have to have them come out one more time, to touch up after you have a big job. You always want to put a list together because you're paying a lot of money. So you want to make sure that they come back out, a couple times as you look at things. So this will be the second time I have them come back out. I don't know when. It's not a rush. It's just I'm putting together a list because I want things touched up. Which, as a buyer, you have every right when you're paying for a service. So now with Bitcoin, that 74K is a big area to me. I think as long as we touch this, because it did tap here, I like it better like that because then you get a proper representation of the lows and the three areas. So, if we can't hold 74,000, that's when you're going to get that very, very volatile swing. And then you come down to that 64K. And it does make sense because you've got that cup and handle, and that would backtest officially in a big way that handle breakdown or breakout. And then if it held it, then we know we could go up higher. If it breaks down from there, then we know this season's probably completely 100% over. And that would be the nail in the coffin. And then we're going back to Shitsville and bear marketsville. So that's what I got for you guys this morning. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you to the 32,600 subscribers of the channel. Make sure you hit that like button and turn that bell notification to all if you want to see future content. I encourage you to look at BITUNIX, lowest spot and leverage trading fees, lowest maker-taker fee, no KYC or VPN worldwide. You can buy XRP in the USA, and you can trade your other assets, buy and sell, even if you want to be a swing trader, for much, much cheaper. And this is what I do to avoid crazy fees on cryptocurrency when I'm buying and selling. They never went away from XRP even in the time of the lawsuit starting in 2020. And I wish I would have known about this a long time ago, sooner than earlier last year. So it's definitely been a game changer. If you want to send a donation, you can do Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. You can send a YouTube Super Chat or join Tom's Army if you want to pay it forward. I've been doing this, if you're new, since March of 2021, March 24th. It's over 4 years and a couple weeks. You know, it's been four years and a few weeks on top of that. I've never missed a day, and that's my greatest asset, that I'm here every day, no matter what. And I try to keep everybody on the same track. Today looks volatile, but it's not over yet. Pay attention. Definitely pay attention to the gold, mining stocks, and see if we have some kind of huge melt up here today.